News Radio 700 WLW.
All right, back with Eddie and Rocky. And Rock, as if we didn't have enough of a drug problem in this country, now there's something new that you can just go and buy at the local gas station.
And that's what's wild. Yeah, there's certainly no shortage of things to get you high these days. But, of course, we talk about fentanyl and heroin and all that. But, now there's these drugs. And I guess some of the, as there's been the increase in these vape shops and some things that you can find in gas stations, some things that almost give like a heroin-like feeling that you can just buy at a gas station.
And they're addictive.
And they're very, very addictive. And joining us right now to discuss, he is an addiction expert. He heads up Into Action Recovery Centers in Texas. His name is Shane Leonard. Shane, welcome to the program. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
So, Shane, you heard us talking about, and the one thing we're talking about in particular is 7-0, not like 70, as in 70-0. Describe what this stuff is.
Well, unfortunately, I'm all too familiar with it.
Wow.
So it's just a new iteration of kratom, which, you said like it has opiate-like qualities for sure, and it's just absolutely awful.
So explain, I guess, what is it chemically that allows it to be sold in a gas station, okay, but then also have the effects of something as powerful as a heroin?
That's a good question. I think that it goes back to, whereas some states are, dispensaries for marijuana, which if you've ever gone into one of those, by the way, it's almost like it's not legal here in Texas, so we don't have that to worry about as much. But this kratom they just change an ingredient, and the FDA is doing research on it, and as soon as they kind of pick up on one thing, they just change the ingredients a little bit.
Yeah,
kratom on its own is who knows, because we've never seen pure kratom, because none of these products are.
And what is kratom, real quick? Describe what kratom is. You hear that word.
Yeah, kratom is very similar to natural opiates. It's a plant-based. It's actually a tree, predominantly in Southeast Asia, and it's used for medicinal purposes. But that's not what we're talking about.
Now, Shane, I got the impression from the story I saw that in that part of the world, they chew on these things like a person in, say, Colombia would chew on a coca leaf, and you get kind of a high experience that way. Is that true?
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Interesting. So, and I guess what's happening, too, again, according to the article we have here, is you got someone who's been on heroin and recovering, and maybe they've kicked that, but they kind of need something. So it's almost being sold as, well, hey, you can take this and you can buy it at a gas station. It's not as powerful as heroin, but it'll kind of give you a little bit of the effect. And people are finding this is just as addictive and powerful, right?
Well, absolutely. That wasn't the case. I would say probably 4 years ago, but certainly now it is. And it's almost, I think it's almost worse because of its availability, and it's not illegal. So people find it to be pretty benign, and it's just simply not the case.
Well, Shane, that's what I was wondering. And you work with people through their addictions and stuff. Are you finding that people who are trying to come off of hard drugs, say in this case like a heroin or something, they're thinking to themselves, well, hell, I can buy it right down there
Must not be that
at
bad.
the Shell station. How bad can it be?
Well, it's amazing you say that. I'm still shocked. We're in 2026, and people are still very, very uninformed about drugs and the harms of them. And you're exactly right. kratom, it's ubiquitous. You can go in any store, head shop, as you mentioned, and you can just pick it up and use it with, alleged impunity. And as it's become stronger, we've seen more and more and more treatment episodes for that. And in most cases, the detox from kratom is much more difficult and much longer than fentanyl or heroin.
And Shane, let me ask you this. And Shane Leonard is our guest. He's an addiction expert. In all your experience, Shane, what helps people the most? What have you found, whether it's easy or hard or whatever? What is the best result that you've seen happen in terms of people kicking a drug habit? Well, what has to happen in your experience?
Well, first of all, you've got to want to make change, the individual themselves. And I don't care how that comes about. We see intervention clients, which interventions are fantastic because it structures the treatment episode, and abstinence. If we looked at this as strictly a business, we could do a lot of things differently. Abstinence is the only way that we do things. So by abstinence, I mean they come in for a medical detox, and then from going forward, there are no maintenance drugs. You don't leave our facility with maintenance drugs of any kind. And I'll debate anyone that wants to talk about that, but that's not really my job. We do what we do. We're not a great fit for everyone, but for people that really want to change their life, myself included, I'm coming up on 17 years. Alcohol was my poison, which is the worst, by the way. Yeah. And we just don't believe in, you don't leave here with any prescriptions for controlled substances whatsoever.
And what you're talking about is, there was always, if you were addicted to heroin or cocaine, you give you methadone or something like this, or even one of these 7-OH, or one of these drugs we're talking about here. So you're saying in your experience that there's no such thing as replacing one drug with another and weaning yourself off of that don't work.
Absolutely not.
All right. Well, Shane, people want to find out more about what it is you all do. Where can they go?
You can go to our website. I'm a terrible marketer, so you can tell that I believe in what we do. It's www.intoactionrecovery.com, all spelled out. INTOACTIONRECOVERY.com.
Shane Leonard, we appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for reporting on this.